Hello everyone and welcome to this recorded game. These are some games I found off AoE Zone and they look like pretty good games from the statistics I could see on them. This is going to be Tim versus Villese. Over in the top right side of the map we have Villese playing as the Franks, and in the bottom left we have Tim playing as the Aztecs. I'm joined here with Nova, who's casting his first time on this channel.
All right, yes. So the thing about interesting matchup here is the fact that they are playing Aztecs versus Franks. Franks, of course, they get the best cavalry in the game, or at least the best knight line units with very powerful paladins. But Aztecs, even though they don't get halberdier, they get the best monks in the game, so it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I love this particular matchup. I love Aztecs versus Spanish because it can really highlight, some of the strengths and weaknesses of these civilizations. On the one hand, the Aztecs, they can pressure early with their men-at-arms rush. You can see the Franks counter with their scout rush. Later on into the game, you can see the Franks with their knight line, and maybe we see the Aztecs with either the eagles or their monk line. And then same thing going into late game, where we can see elite eagles versus knights. And maybe, if we're lucky, we'll see the throwing axemen.
Oh, throwing X-Men. Very powerful unit. And yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they micro their armies. Because the knights from France, they are very powerful. They are probably going to have the edge over the Eagle Warriors. But then again, if you get to Imperial Age, for instance, the Cavaliers, pikemen alone, they're not going to be enough, right? And Aztecs don't get halberdiers, so they're going to have to bank on the monks.
Yeah, and already in this very early game, I'm already triggered as I see Tim has had 3 of his villagers go to the same side of his lumber camp. But Tim is actually opening up with 3 on wood, which is something you almost never see with Aztecs. He's going to add a 4th one now, so maybe a small variation on the build. Maybe this is maybe this is a small variation because normally I like to take a look at like very minute details of pro players to help try to improve my game. So maybe because there's a new men-at-arms meta and the Dark Age Rush isn't the new meta, maybe you want to go to wood a little bit later. So maybe I'm just making that inference.
Yeah, that's also a good point, because if you go for the 4th villager instead of sending the 4th villager to wood, you send to take the board, that's going to be 10 extra food, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so Tim just has a little more food income as opposed to wood income, but he wouldn't need the barracks up as fast anyway, because probably men-at-arms are stronger in today's meta.
Yeah, and these players, they can usually tweak the build orders on the go, on the fly. They don't really have a... Yeah, and there's not a huge effect for them in terms of efficiency, because they know the game so well. It's pretty much like speaking a language for them. They can change things around. It's alright.
I don't think Tim's the fastest player, I must say. He keeps doing this. All 4 villagers keep attacking the wood line on the right side. I'm so triggered. They're supposed to be on 2 on each side, but oh well.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look at Tim's map while we're criticizing him so much. But so he's going to start off a wall off. It's not going to be a big wall off. It's going to be a very small one because it's a very open map. In fact, Tim might even wall out some of his stones. He's got 3 zebra right next to his base, and his 2 golds are kind of far out. One of them luckily is in the back, but this is a very open type Arabia map, particularly for Tim.
Hey, we were talking about Tim not being super fast. If you take a look at Vilese's TC, left-hand side, you're gonna see a body there rotting. He was able to lane the villager.
Villese lost one to the boar?
Yeah, because Tim blocked the villager with the scout.
Oh, I was so triggered on the lumber line that this whole time Tim was... Oh, but look at Tim's face.
Yeah, the scout.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, it's not.
He could get trapped there too. Wall it.
That's a good point.
Oh, the Viper would have gated it.
Yeah, 1 gate and 1 passage, then rip. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Okay, I take back everything I said about Tim because he obviously was focused on killing that villager. But obviously the lumber line's more important.
Yeah, now the villagers are properly distributed.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, so Tim's gonna go with the barracks. Tim does... So, both players still have their scout around. Tim's scout is on low HP, so is Villese's. And Tim, is he gonna go... It looks like he's gonna go with a men-at-arms rush to put on some early aggression.
Yeah, right now the villager counts even for both players, but that's because Villese is going for Loon right now, so he's gonna fall behind the 1 villager.
Oh, and so Villese is going to go with militia right away. I have to say that I did watch a recent game, which is on the Voobly official YouTube channel. It was Doubt versus Hera, and it was exactly this matchup. It was Hera was playing as the Franks, and Doubt was playing as the Aztecs. And I was very surprised when I saw Hera going with a Frankish men-at-arms rush to counter the Aztec men-at-arms rush, and it worked out very well for Hera. So I wonder if that's, that's going to be a trend.
Let's see. We're gonna find out right now. I have to say that Villese is gonna take a long time to get the zebra meat back into the.
Yeah, he will. He will, definitely.
Oh, and look at this. Tim's gonna go forward. What a surprise!
Is Tim a player that usually goes forward? I feel like he's more of a standard player.
No, I don't think so. I have probably seen him go forward twice in my whole.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to be expecting this man-at-arms play. I've seen it be effective so far when going against the Aztecs. Maybe just because it's unexpected, but I don't think Tim was expecting this at all. Gonna have to send back that weak villager, but now Tim has the numbers and he's going to push back. Villese should continue to make men-at-arms, probably. But no gold for him, just 20 gold left.
He's gonna go for the defensive tower right away, though.
Yeah, right on top of the gold.
So,
let's see. Tim is just going to take the
Tim's
zebra.
going back. Yes.
Yeah. It's all a ploy. It was all a ploy to get that one zebra.
He got spotted. It's not fun if it's not a surprise.
And now does this tower... I don't think this tower makes much sense with Tim not going forward, so at least he got that out of it.
Yeah, there's going to be stone that Villese is not going to be able to use for TC's later.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, Villese is going to overreact. Villese still thinks these villagers are coming forward, I think, and he's going to go to stone right away. So he's making a huge economy investment into stone when Tim is not.
Yeah, and there's this thing again. If Tim... I'm not sure if Tim is expecting Villese to overreact like this, but because of the stone mining right now from Villese, he could potentially go and try to tower Tim. I'm not sure if Tim is going to be expecting that.
Yeah, I don't think Villese is going to do that, though. I think, especially since Villese did lose this man-at-arms engagement, I don't think he's feeling comfortable enough to go forward.
There's one of the men-at-arms from Tim that is very weak, though.
Yeah, that is true. Villese did just add an extra men-at-arms. He's adding yet another. Yeah. I think he's going to switch into skirmishers. Meanwhile, Tim is going double barracks. So I really like Tim's position, even just this early game, that Villese is going right into skirmishers. Unless he's taking gold in the back. Oh, he is taking gold in the back, so we'll add a few archers. Okay.
Yeah, going right away for archers. And Tato, I mean, keep seeing red. So Tim, let's see. If Villese is not paying attention here, that could be potentially good for Tim. Oh, look at that. He's sneaking the men-at-arms.
Yeah, they just snuck right past. They took a few arrows. They're pretty weak, but they can still take a villager. And Villese is going to be very annoyed by that.
At best, he's going to cause some idle time, so it's a win-win situation for him.
At the same time, look at this counterattack that Villese is going to do. These villagers are going to move out at just the wrong time as these men-at-arms show up.
Yeah, there you go, the men-at-arms now. So the Eagle Scout, not going to do...
And that archer was luckily... I was about to say it was about to be saved, but decided to die to the villagers. And that wasn't too bad from Tim. Tim able to take that archer, got a little lucky. And now Tim going to go to stone. Yeah, that was a lot lucky from Tim. That could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, well, Villese still has the militias, or the men-at-arms rather, and the archer forward, so he can still try and do some damage. But right now, Tim's gonna start massing the eagle.
Yeah, and so we have a few archers going to be made from Villese. Villese has 350 stone now. He can do something with it if he wants. I don't think it's been a good investment from him. Tim, meanwhile, he's going full into this eagle aggression. I wonder if Villese will continue to add these men-at-arms because he sees all of these eagles out. The men-at-arms take care of the eagles quite well. And the eagles are mainly to counter the archers, so I like Villese's army composition a little better at this stage.
I agree. And as for Stone, I think if you take a look at Villese scouting information, he knows where the woodline from Tim is. So he also knows that he doesn't really have a lot of options as for wood. So he can potentially sneak a villager there, drop a tower, and that'd be probably worth it. But because of the barracks there, it's probably kind of risky. He would probably have to get attention from Tim somewhere else so that he...
Oh man. Look at this raid.
Oh,
Look at this raid. Just that villager didn't get that wall up in time. Now the men-at-arms are going to go to town. Can they kill any villagers?
So
We're going to lose one to the town center. Oh boy. Oh, going to lose an archer to the town center. A lot of mistakes so far. And that villager's
Two
going to walk
archers
back.
right now.
Okay, he's going to go back to the town center. Now the army going towards the wood line. Tim is going to try some quick walls.
Oh, but take a look at Villese's base. He's getting raided now by scouts.
Yeah, just a bit. I don't think they killed a villager quite yet. Villager count's fairly even so far this game, but Villese is gonna have to have something to deal with these eagles. Right now he has nothing. He's gonna have to make some more men-at-arms. I wonder why Villese didn't just add some towers in his base.
Yeah. Yeah, well now Villese's forward is not gonna do a whole lot. Tim went for the walls now, and it's not gonna be possible for him to go around there without taking PC.
I'm seeing a lot of mistakes so far this game. That was a very early engagement from Tim. The men-at-arms are going to clean up the eagles. Now the villagers are here, but it's too late. The eagles are down, and those villagers are going to get low. So this is a big annoyance to both players. Meanwhile, Tim has to be pushed back from Villese, but idling some of those farmers.
Well, that's 2 villagers down for Tim, but that's only gonna even things out, right? Because he was already 2 villagers behind, and he's still 2 villagers behind. So it seems like Tim has been doing some damage with it.
Yeah, and this is going to be a good cleanup from Villese. Going to clean up those eagles. I liked from Villese, most of those farmers were still working, even though the eagles were in the area. So they were able to collect food this whole time.
Yes.
And overall, I would
but
say
look
the
at this.
economies are going to be pretty even, especially since Tim is still idle with a lot of his villagers.
Yeah, Villese is doing a great job causing idle time now for the rest.
So it looks like Villese preparing to go up to the next stage. He's got 300 stone in the bank, going to transition into knights.
Yes, and I don't think the Aztec player has enough to go up yet.
Yeah, he's definitely further behind. He'll be up in just a second. He's got a lot of farms, and we'll have
that's
enough
true.
gold. I think the question here is about army composition. I think that Tim might have a little bit of a window going into as Villese goes into Castle Age to attack, so maybe the next few minutes. But after that, the knights should theoretically be stronger.
Well, yeah, knights right now, Villese is going up faster, and the Eagle Scouts, they need to be upgraded to Eagle Warriors before even considering engaging versus anything other than...
And I love these walls from Villese. We said before how difficult it is to wall this map, but it's essential that you wall, especially against Eagle Warriors. You just don't want to be raided by Eagle Warriors the whole game.
Yeah, that's a very annoying thing from Mesa Civs, especially... Well, right now, Villese getting the cavalry civ, he's gonna be alright, but if you don't get the civ with high mobility, then it's very annoying to see the Eagle Warriors going left and right, and you just have to chase them down, and they still can outrun you and keep raiding, and it's just very annoying. So it's very, very important wall.
I'm pretty sure Tim just patrolled into that outpost, which is why he was attacking it. So those eagles could have been in on that wood line. Villese, interestingly enough, not reacting at all, has all of his villagers still at that wood line. They are going to be vulnerable when these eagles come in. We have 3 men-at-arms. I think 3 men-at-arms might be enough to take the eagles, especially with a 4th. And that village is going to get caught out. What is Villese doing? He knows the eagles are right there.
I'm not sure. He's probably offering a sacrifice.
Yeah, an Aztec sacrifice, of course, to appease Tim.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's a good engagement for Tim, though. I don't know why you would... sorry, for Villese. I don't know why you would take that as Tim. Why do you care about killing those men-at-arms?
Well, look at that. Villese is going to go for Longswordsman.
Oh, well, there you go. But might want to cancel it now that... Oh, he added a second barracks. I thought that was a stable.
Oh no, he was going to go for Longswordsman.
I don't
But
know.
then that's
I would
the
like to
issue.
see knights. Longswordsman is an interesting decision.
He's going for knights as well, but that's the issue. The eagles, they can just outrun the Longswordsman, and they can keep raiding other places, and it's all overall very annoying. So I would say probably knights is the better unit in this situation.
But at the same time, he was able to upgrade those men-at-arms, and now Villese going to take a great engagement against these Eagle Scouts. The Eagle Scouts can do nothing against Longswordsman, but don't want to lose them to the tower at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get the tower now.
I think he might. I mean, those Longswordsmen are doing some damage. Either way, they're paying for themselves by killing a lot of these Eagle Warriors.
That's for sure. So it's been the case. The case for Villese the whole game. He's sending units forward, he's sacrificing them, but he's doing damage as well. Either killing villagers, causing idle time or any sort of damage. So it's probably...
I've never seen 3 Longswordsmen do so much damage in this game, in Castle Age. Just never seen that before. That's a lot of damage.
He's gonna lose them now. He might be able to break through now. With, yeah, trying to take the...
Yeah, but that villager's gonna wall behind. Tim?
Oh,
yeah.
He had a village there. I didn't see her.
At this stage, Tim is really on the back foot. He just lost a few villagers. He's gone into Eagle Warrior, which is not going to counter the Longswords at all. Tim is playing as the Aztecs, not the Incas, so he's not going to have slingers. Tim going to go over to stone. No stone for a castle. He might need to transition to crossbows. What do you think?
Well,
oh, going to go monks. That's a good decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think monks is the best decision here. It'll counter the Longswordsman, and should we see knights, should counter the knights as well.
Yeah, we have to see knights, right? If we have a front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, for the time being, the Longswordsman still causing some eco damage of sorts by forcing Tim into investing more wood for houses and...
Villese gonna go for another raid on the right side. Probably gonna get a good engagement against the Eagle Warriors. Not exactly. Gonna lose the Knights. I like that, you know, Villese is really gonna throw in the kitchen sink as he's upgrading the crossbow now to counter the monks.
Oh, interesting. And yeah, so good units from Villese, but he doesn't have the numbers yet. Oh, look at the Longswordsman.
Yeah, they could do some huge damage on that gold. Luckily, quick palisades from Tim, preventing a major disaster in his base. Monk will get one conversion. Should get away. Yeah, gonna be very close. Gonna get towards the town center. And let's see if Villese is gonna have to clean it up. He's gonna have to. That tower's gonna help out quite a bit.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to go for crossbows if Villese is gonna engage under the tower. So right now the blue player going also for a mangonel, so he's expecting archers. Either that or he wants to take advantage of the range for the mangonel and try to take the TC down. Although I'm not sure if the mangonel is probably the best unit here against the Eagle Warriors. Even though the Longswordsman.
I like with Longswordsman with such a slow unit. I'd like to see a ram. Ram would go better. I'd like to take down the military production on the right side if you want to go all in. But that's not really Villese's plan. Villese's plan right now, Villese is booming back at home. So he's just keeping the pressure off of himself by putting pressure on Tim. And eventually, Villese should pull ahead in economy. And he has. He's 13 villages ahead.
That's true. Even though Aztecs, they usually don't need the largest eco, they're still going to be in troubles if the blue player goes for...
Well, right now, Villese hasn't invested that much into army, so he's going to lose his mangonel. Still, those Eagle Warriors not being very effective against the Frankish Longswordsman. We do have 3 monks out now from Tim, with a 4th one on the way, so perhaps they will be able to push out. A few crossbows being made from Villese, no Bodkin arrow quite yet. Tim needs to simultaneously push out and also add some town centers. He's got one in the back.
Yeah, he does. Now, there's one thing I like to point out. If Villese is planning to go for knights at some point, you can see now that he added a monastery himself, so he should be able to counter the monks by counter-converting his own unit.
I think we might have had some idle time for Villese. I said Villese was 13 villages ahead. It's dropped down to 10 now. Tim actually expanded on the right side to another town center. Let's watch this fight as Tim is going to get the cleanup on these Longswordsmen with a few conversions. And Tim is in the score lead.
Villese is not producing villagers with any of the disease there.
Oh, that is a shame. Longswordsmen are so food intensive. They're kind of hard to go for that reason.
Yeah, he's producing right now, but he had like over a minute of idle time in all three diseases.
So that might be letting Tim back into the game a little bit. I did mention before I like the town center from Tim on the right, was able to sneak that out. So now the eco is
Yes.
pretty much the same.
Oh, look at this. Villese is gonna go for the castle. Are we gonna see throwing axemen?
And at the same time, I saw Tim mining quite a bit of stone. He's going to go for a castle of his own, so maybe we're going to see Throwing Axeman versus Jaguar Warrior.
Oh boy, interesting. I do like the castle from Tim though. He's gonna defend that gold at least.
Oh yeah, I like both castles, to be quite honest. It's going to defend the gold on the left for Tim. If this goes to Imperial battle, it's on a higher hill than Villese's castle, but at the same time, Villese's castle is putting some pressure. It's denying a gold and a stone.
Yeah, the goal, fortunately for Tim, he has another goal. He's taking the neutral goal there with the TC that you were mentioning just a minute ago. So it's not going to be so harmful this time, but that's something that you would be expecting to take, right? Your own goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And those Longswordsmen they're not going to go for that castle. They're going to have to retreat, because Jaguar Warriors could be made.
And look at this. So with all the eco advantage that we were seeing just a minute ago from Villese, actually I think Tim is in a better position. If you take a look at the resources, he's going to be able to go out to Imperial probably sooner than...
Both players are going to be up in a relatively similar time, I think. I wouldn't be surprised to see them click up at the same time.
Oh, you're correct. Actually, food going up super fast for blue as well.
And someone pointing out, Tim has more Longswordsmen. A lot of those have to be conversions. Are all of those conversions?
I don't think so. Hold on, let me see. No, he researched Longswords himself.
Okay. I was about to say. Great fight for Tim at the top. Going to take a lot of the Longswordsmen of Villese. I feel like you have to like Tim's position. If you're going infantry, I think that the Aztecs are going to be better. I don't know how the Throwing Axeman versus Jaguar Warrior, fight goes. Although it looks like neither of them are. Well, here we go. First Throwing Axeman from Villese coming out. If this stays to a Longswordsman fight, then the Throwing Axeman would be a huge benefit. Tim going to add more barracks, so probably going to go down the champion line.
Yeah, the Throne Axemen, they can use some meat shield. With some meat shield, then they should be able to take a good engagement against other infantry for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, Villese doesn't have enough castles right now to go for Throwing Axemen, especially if he's going to make a Trebuchet. Back at home, Villese still producing Longswordsmen. It's very rare we see so many Longswordsmen in Castle Age. This is a very rare game.
Yeah, and right now, Villese is actually taking a bit of a fight here, fighting up here, or down here rather, against him. He's gonna manage to clean all the long.
So certainly with that engagement, looks like Villese is, doing a little bit better. However, I think he's probably going to lose this Treb battle as that castle again is on top of the hill. Villese is building a second.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim is building a second castle down in the south, which I like again. And I guess let's see how this Treb
he's
battle
gonna be
goes.
able to outproduce the trebuchets, and also he has the hit advantage, and also he's up faster, so he's gonna have a little bit of.
Villese kind of doubling down in this area. Going to add another castle. It'd be good if he could keep Tim off of his third gold and his second stone.
Oh, it was Villese adding the second castle, my bad.
But I think Tim will have enough gold, definitely for the time being. He's mining 3 gold mines separately.
Oh, look at that. Tim's going for the relics. So those are going to be producing 33% more gold. And I believe with Aztecs, if you have all 5 relics, that's pretty much like having 8 fully upgraded villagers.
Yeah, just
stone.
about.
Yeah, because with the regular Civ, you get around 6 villagers worth of gold mining. With the 33% extra, that should translate to 8.
So with the second castle, I think Villese is going to be able to maybe win this trebuchet battle. Probably will lose his own castle because he's got double the trebuchet production speed. However, Villese's upgraded Eagle Warrior is now going to go with the raid. Villese doesn't have that many two-handed swordsmen back at base to defend.
Well, right now, Villese is focusing on the TC, and both players have 2 castles, so potentially we could see trebuchet production from 2 castles from both players. And if we take a look at the right-hand side, we can see that the castle or the hill north of the castle from team is also having the hill advantage against that castle. But if you take a look at Villese's base, there's a lot of elite Eagle Warriors there.
Yeah, and even some on the wood line. It looks like Villese did have enough to defend at his own base. Going to build another cheaper Frank castle to help defend from the Eagle raiding. But there's one Eagle Warrior right on the wood line. It looks like it'll get battered down if Villese wants to target it. But gonna get a few villager kills.
Yeah, but it's probably unnoticed right now. He's doing so much damage. He already killed around 3 villagers.
Champion coming in, Garland Wars coming in. It's interesting that Tim decided to go all in on the elite Eagle Warrior line, despite seeing the two-handed swordsman. So far, the Eagle Warriors haven't been able to raid. I think they're going to lose this engagement pretty badly.
Oh, and look at this. How often do you see the cavalry civ guy going for infantry against the infantry civ?
Yeah, not too often. Not too often. I do like the two-handed swordsman from Tim. Perhaps they'll be able to do something. They have the Garland Wars upgrade. I think we should see more Eagle Warrior, more throwing axemen from Villese. However, he doesn't have the upgrades for it. Needs the trebuchets as well.
Yeah, he doesn't have the production as he lost 1 castle and he's only with 1 castle available to go for either trebuchets or especially now that he lost a couple of trebuchets to the Eagle Warriors, he's gonna need to go for a couple more.
So Villese is going to get cleaned up. That trebuchet is on 7 HP. A champion could potentially take it out, but no, not going to happen. Villese looks to be on the back foot, now down 1,000 points in score. Yes. And I'm really liking the position from Tim. Tim has got his army, well upgraded. He's got two-handed swordsmen with Garland Wars. He's got Eagle Warriors with Garland Wars. Villese is going to have to make something else, especially if Tim upgrades the champion. And Villese is losing his castles at the same time.
Are you expecting to see Cavalier or potentially Paladins? I don't think that's going to be the case.
I think that would be the best option, but Villese needs more gold for that.
Yeah, he's pretty broke at the moment. He doesn't have any gold. It doesn't have much of anything.
I'm just taking a look where the extra golds are on the map. There's an extra stone on the left. I just would have liked to see something else. I would have liked to see either Cavalier or the Throwing Axeman.
Well, I would say probably the Throwing Axeman would be good here, especially when paired with Champ.
And I think the Eagle Warrior is going to be a problem. We have some Eagle Warriors moving around the north. It is still open there at the wood line. Villese has recognized that, but I think that's still open, even as he puts a house there.
Look at that amount of dead villagers from the single eagle from earlier.
Yeah, getting a lot of kills.
Yeah, he's gonna wall that, so the eagles are not gonna be able to go in.
I have to say, what happened to the momentum of Tim? Just 2 minutes ago I said how I love Tim's position, but where's his army? Where did his army go?
And I don't know, the game is going back and forth. Just a moment before you said that, it seemed like Villese had the advantage, and then Team was ahead, and now Villese raiding with
I
champion.
expected Tim to keep the pressure on and keep building his army. I don't know where his army went.
Well, the eco is a lot better for Team, for sure.
For sure, but he's getting raided now.
Sure.
Gonna continue with champion. The champion will be stronger for Tim, so he still has that going for him.
He's getting a very good amount of villagers down now with the champion.
Yeah, they could even go for the town centers.
Look at the villager count. Already almost 20 villagers ahead. 30, I mean. There you go.
And I think this is going to be a critical engagement as Villese is going to try to push up the hill. He's going to lose 2 champions right away to conversions, and he's going to lose that fight. Villese is going to try to counter with his own trebuchets. Villese is actually taking down the castle of Tim on the bottom side.
Yes, and if you take a look, he's also repairing his own castle, so he's gonna be able. I think in the long run, he should be able to take the castle down.
And Villese might be able to take down this town center. As
And look, yeah, look at the amount of bodies there.
Look at the villager number.
Yes, under 100.
What's 100 versus 150?
Oh my god, he could research sappers and send 50 villagers forward and just finish.
Exactly, yeah. I think I'm going to make a prediction here. I think that whoever ends up taking this gold on the bottom side, Villese's third gold, I think that's going to be who wins the game.
Where is it?
It's the one where the castle's at. Villese's castle.
Alright, so the gold that he's taking, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think whoever holds that's probably going to win this game.
This is probably a bad engagement for Tim, fighting under the castle uphill against other champions.
But at the same time, I don't think Villese can push up the hill either. So if I was Tim, I would stay under that hill.
Yeah, for sure.
And also bring some villagers forward to repair. There's no reason not to repair the trebuchets.
Well, the +8 attack is super powerful for champions here. So I'm not sure if even with the heal advantage, I mean if Red was fighting uphill, I'm not sure who would win the engagement with that.
I think Tim should definitely win this one.
Uphill against +8 champions is not the right choice for Villese. Villese, he doesn't have a castle anymore.
Yeah. That was a bad engagement for Villese to take. And Villese could have called GG, what? What?
That's awful, man.
That game just ended suddenly. But I guess my prediction was right because that's right as he loses the gold. I was hoping for Villese. Villese was going to transition to hand cannons, and I thought that was going to be a game changer. Oh
well,
wow.
there's also the fact I believe Team has more map control right now, so
Yeah,
they
that was
were
a big
fighting
thing
over
too.
there in the middle. But Team has been raiding for a while, and I think probably Villese felt like he was focusing on a single place, and then he lost over there, and he didn't have anything else to do anymore.
Yeah, so overall, I would have liked to see... I like the Longswordsman play, but then I would have liked to see the transition to either Throwing Axeman or Cavalier.
Oh man, Throwing Axeman would have been great.
That's the dream.
Alright.
Well, let's take a look at the achievements. Actually, I think Villese called that a little early. He still has a lot of gold in his base. I didn't see that extra gold he had.
Yes, and look at the KV.
Yeah, I would transition to hand cannons and see what would happen. But having those castles would have been big for Villese, because he's not really going to be able to prevent the raiding too much.
Yeah, so as we were saying earlier, this has been a back and forth, and you can see that in the timeline. And the game ended with both players being pretty much equal. Villese, of course, he had more villagers, and I feel like he had the eco to go for more army once again and potentially outproduce Team in the long run. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to position. That was the only thing that game. Villese with a better KD fit ratio. And a better economy. But I think it just came down to that
as
mobility.
you were saying, losing access to that goal was also quite bad for him.
Yeah. And the relic goal definitely helped a lot for Tim as well.
Ah, the relics, that's correct. I forgot about the relics. How many did they get?
I think like 3.